Hello, hi, Aisha.
Hi,
Hi.
Hector. How
All
are
right.
you?
Okay, very good. Hey, I'm getting ready for the European Championship football. I don't know if you've heard about the football tournament that's happening in Europe at the moment. Um,
Yeah.
the whole country's excited. It's England are actually playing Denmark tonight in the second
Oh,
final. Yes, Italy are waiting in the final. It's the European Championship. I wonder if it's being mentioned in the news in Taiwan at all. It's a sporting event. I can just show you. Let me just show you see what's happening on the BBC website. I'll just jump over to it's a Euro 2020. Euro 2020. It's a football tournament that's happening at the moment. I don't know, Isha, if you follow anything like this.
actually, personally, not, but but I heard about this game. But why is called Euro 2020, not 2021?
It was scheduled for last year, so
Oh,
Euro
I see.
2020. Actually, come to think of it, I think you also we will find out, but the Olympic Games, um, Tokyo,
Oh,
Olympic
yeah, Olympics.
Games are coming up very soon, aren't they? I think they,
Oh, yeah, they're still holding it?
yes, that's right. I think it's held 23rd of July. Gosh, so
Oh,
soon.
God. Oh, gosh.
It's happening soon. It's all happening. Yes, and you know what? They're calling it the 2020 as well. The
Oh, I
Olympic
see.
Games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it should
Very,
be held. Yeah, it should be held like last year.
yeah. It's bizarre, you know, my head's spinning. I keep looking, I keep thinking, hang on, 2020? I feel I'm going back to last year. So there's quite a few
Yeah.
things. So we got the 2020 Euros, the 2020 Euro Championship and 2020 Olympic Games are happening this year. Very strange times we're living through right now. Yeah, anyway, just back to the football. Last night it was Italy against Spain, and they are rivals, two teams that always often play each other. England's rival is Germany. We tend to look at Germany as our main rival. We like to play the Germans, or the Germans like to play England, but usually they beat us. But we beat them this time. But now we're playing Denmark, the Danish, and they're a very impressive country. Denmark. Let me just show you where Denmark is.
Yeah, I've been there.
Have you been there,
Yes,
Denmark?
yes, I did.
Oh, of course, you've travelled a lot, haven't you, Isha? Of course, you know, been a flight attendant and things. Yeah, what do you think? I've never been actually Denmark.
Oh, it's very beautiful,
Hmm.
amazing place.
Jutland. Wow, I see. Yeah, you know, there's sort of an image, it's a bit blurry. Denmark, yes, Copenhagen. Oh, is that maybe that's it? Copenhagen. Maybe
Yeah,
you've been there. All
yeah,
right.
yes, I visited Copenhagen.
Oh, what amazing. Did you see something like this in Denmark? Did you? Wow, an amazing place. That's just
Yeah,
like, is that real? It is, isn't it? It
yeah,
is an
yeah.
actual photo.
It just
Yeah.
looked like that. Exactly.
We sometimes say a picture, I mean, look at the cloud. That we sometimes look at a picture like this, even this or this, as a picture postcard. You know, it really does look like we sometimes say that picture postcard. You know, picture postcard. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. It's a picture postcard. Anyway, I can't believe I'm talking about Denmark. Anyway, so anyway, England have to beat Denmark tonight. Anyway, it's an interesting flag. Just to say, the interesting flag of Denmark is the opposite to England. You know, our England flag is red and white, but we have the
Yeah,
red cross. and they have the white cross on the background. So it's opposite, but it'll be very strange to see, you know, it almost looks like England, but it's reverse. So
yeah.
It's going to be an interesting event tonight. Anyway, that's 8 o'clock tonight. Ruby, welcome. I just want to say we're just facing an interesting event tonight, the Euro 2020 semi-final. Yes, we're all a bit nervous. It's all going off on the radio over here in England. It's just everyone in the country will be very, very excited tonight, 8 o'clock UK time. We're playing Denmark in London. So, you know, I think that we have a chance. However, you know, may the best team win. That's what we have to say because we're English, you know, we have to say that because we introduced the game. I don't know if you heard the song Football's Coming Home. Anyway, I'm kind of sick of hearing it, but we're hearing it all the time. Football's coming home. There's a statement here. Football is coming home. Home back to, oh, there's an old song. Football's coming. We have lots of football songs. It's coming home. So everybody is singing this. It's coming home. But Italy are in the final. So what do Italy say? It's coming Rome. It's coming Rome, they say. So it's going to be funny if we do get to the final. However, very good of them. And that's usually how we play with English, don't we? We like to, you know, we just tinker. It's called tinkering with one letter, and it changes everything.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
We call it tinkering, just small adjustments, or tinker. Let's just put that as a singular.
Tinkering.
Yeah, I don't. Have you ever tinkered with anything before? To tinker with something is just a small adjustment. However, all right, guys, so that's happening tonight. So I must slow down on my coffee to this afternoon. But anyway, good luck to Italy. They've reached the final. It's Denmark and England tonight. And how strange, I was just saying to Aisha, Ruby, that we are facing the Tokyo Olympics.
Yeah.
And it's 2020. Tokyo Olympics 2020, Euro 2020, European football 2020. So very strange year this. We're seeing last year's date on it. Do you think it should be 2021? What do you think? Ruby, what's your thoughts? Should it be Tokyo 2021 or 2020? What do you think? Do you think
No,
that's right?
It's I thought it should be 2020.
2020, stick to the original. Aisha, why do you think they stick to 2020?
Yeah, because they should hold last year, and I think they kind of registered everything, like maybe for the logo rights, there are a lot of copyright, something like that.
Yeah, so, absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I think they have to stick to like 2020. They cannot change. I believe they print out a lot of things. Yes. They sold out a lot of side products, so they could not say, "Oh, sorry guys, we're gonna keep produce another set of a merchandise. Like it's Olympic 2021. You're going to buy a new one." I
was gonna say, if they put a little sticker on the zero, or put a little one. Okay, cross it out, put one. No, I don't think it's possible. You're right. It would cost. It would cost, wouldn't it? It is one of the problems. The same thing, the discussion was with Euro 2020. The problem is the cost, as you say, would be the merchandise, the cost, the franchising, the merchandise, merchandise, I've got that wrong, there we go, merchandise, I'll just change that around. Merchandise, the franchising, franchise, franchise, they've got that as well. Franchise, we've got that. All of these are just some of the problems that would be causing us for having to pay for all of that. Now you'll probably notice I've got a few words here that's picked out. This is from our presentation that we're looking at. Monica, welcome. Welcome to join us. I believe it's your first time, so just relax, enjoy, see if you want to join in. Have yourself I was going to say you're going to have a coffee, but maybe it's a bit late. Have a cocoa or something like that if you like, or do you sometimes drink anything, Aisha, for your refreshment during the class? Just for, is it just water or?
Yes, I have coffee and the green tea.
Green tea, right? Green tea is very good indeed. Yes, Chloe's joining as well. Great. Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Okay. So we're going to have a look at. Just want to say these are just for your reference, Monica. That we're doing this is something that we have in the timetable. The presentation section. This is an hour where we do business application, and what it is we're doing presentations at the moment. It goes on for about 12 weeks. And then after that, we will then go through meetings, telephoning, and socializing. So it's kind of like rotated every quarter. So we're going through, at the moment, and today we're going to have a look at hand gestures. One of the goals of the presentation course is to look at a Steve Jobs presentation at the end, so we get an awareness of how presentations can be presented, and we build up our skills and confidence when we're doing a presentation. Next week we will have a look at PowerPoints and how to use them, maybe the transition between slides and things like that. So anyway, we're looking at hand gestures, the body language. I've got a couple of interesting videos I would like to share with you. I've just got it on here because it's slightly repetitive, so I thought this would be a good point. This one, the second half presentation looks quite interesting. I'd like to share with you. So thoughts first, looking at body language. What's the reasoning for this here? So we're looking at why you think this here, this picture here. If I just open this up, let's see if we can get this just very briefly. What do you think is the reason for this? Why is this stiff? And why is this jazzy hands in some ways? So any thoughts about the crossing of the arms straight away? Thoughts there? So Aisha, maybe you could just help us with what's your thoughts about that? If it's a cross arm, why is that not recommended?
Because it looks like you're protecting yourself. You feel like someone is against you. It's not very approachable. So
That's
people will
true.
think, yeah, you are not very like friendly people. So you are like building a wall in front of you.
Do people do that sometimes? If you don't like someone, is that a good idea to just, okay. So you're like,
yeah. Sometimes you are not conscious to do that.
I do that to my sister all the time. Oh well. Anyway, yeah, just like, oh, anyway, just to protect myself. Yeah, very good. Any other thoughts, Ruby? Any other ideas why we don't do the crossing of the arms?
Yeah, it looked like the boss or the manager.
Could be, isn't it? Yeah.
Whenever they do something like this and talk with you and just ask you to do something, and where the things is not good or something.
Could be serious, isn't it? Yes. Monica, any other thoughts so far? Do you think that's also any other opinions about, have you ever seen anyone with their arms crossed with a presentation? I don't think so, right?
No, for public speech, and for a public speaker, they never do this kind of posture in front of their audiences. Otherwise, they cannot make the audiences open their heart to their speech.
That's a very good point, actually, Monica. You're getting the point across to the audience, isn't it? To open their hearts as well, to get the audience on your side. If you don't, you know, you're going to be, it's almost as if, as you say, Monica, isn't it? There is this clash, or you're trying to compete. No, there is this clash of interest to some extent. You know, there's a barrier. Anyway, the point is the barrier. Yes. Chloe, any other thoughts? Is that ever seen anyone with a presentation with crossing their arms like this, or talking to someone with their arms crossed?
My previous manager in hotel.
Right. Oh,
And I think he just want to show his I knew he was very lack of safety how to say it, he want to yes, and he want to protect himself, so he do this behavior to show his
power, maybe authority.
Yes.
Authority.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe it's the authority. Absolutely, authority. Absolute, guys. You know all this. So, and of course, the open is, as you just rightly said, is to now, as Monica, you probably brought up a good point, is to then empathize. The empathy that you get across, the empathy to get the audience on your side. So, and then of course, what about the other side, the jazzy ones, where it's like, wow, yes, we're going to be doing this today. Yeah, okay, good. I suppose it'll wake everyone up, but yeah, a little bit maybe over the top, isn't it? You know, a little bit on the extreme level of excitement there. But it depends. Maybe as a comedy show, it could be quite good to dramatize something. So these are the things, as you know. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to have a look at a couple of videos, okay? It's interesting that we have 4 of us here. So I think I'd like to try to use the breakout room again to then give you everyone a chance to have a chance to talk with some issue. Thoughts about, well, we'll come on to a question that we'll discuss. But then let's just have a quick look at some interesting points about body language. I think this you'll find interesting. This one here, I find quite an interesting statistic. Let's have a look.
When you're looking for the right composure in front of an audience, you must remember this circle of impact. More than half of the impact you have on an audience is caused by your body language. 38% of the impact you have is caused by your voice and the way you speak. And only 7% of the impact is due to the content of your story. It's not a lot, is it? So, nice and good body language is very important. Where do we start? We start with our feet, with our legs. We plant them like trees in the earth, which doesn't mean that you can't move around during a presentation, but it needs stability. Your story needs to be stable also, so you need physical stability. And then your shoulders. You have to straighten those shoulders and tuck up your chin. And to know where these shoulders should be, there's a very small exercise. You just lift them up very high and let them drop. And then they are where they should be. So feet, shoulders, and then your hands and your arms. What do we do with these? Well, one thing you have to remember is that you have to keep an open communication with your public. So this creates a barrier. We don't do this. This is much too waiting. You're actually demanding commands from the audience. So what we want to do is to make the distance between yourself and the audience smaller. So reach out with those hands and those arms. All right? Feet, hands, and of course, never to forget, a smile.
Okay, nice. Right, that's the first video, very short. I just put that in there. Quite interesting, stark information that she brought up there, wasn't it? That's just we'll go back to that slide here. What, any thoughts about that? So body language, 55%. Wow, that's quite amazing, isn't it? That's so. Again, just your thoughts. And why so high? Just on that thought there. Can I just ask you, maybe, Aisha, if I could just start off with you again, if you don't mind, just your thoughts about that chart. Any thoughts you have about it? Why is it so high, do you feel, the body language?
I thought because the people is visual animal.
Maybe so, Ruby. Thanks very much. Visuals, we're visuals. Sorry, Aisha, okay, I'll go back to you again. What's your thoughts there? Yeah.
Yeah, because people see and visual first, and then they listen and they use their brain to think about what you say and content. So what's the posture and the body language will make people feel something special.
Interesting. It's an interesting thought. I'll tell you what we're going to do. This chart looks very interesting. So let's do this. Let's have a little breakout room together on this. Your thoughts about why is it so important? I think it's an interesting little discussion that we can start off with together in our breakout room for 5 minutes. I think it'll be a good little chance to share with each other thoughts here. So let's have a go at this. Monica, welcome. Is this your first time to experience a breakout room? Have you?
No, it's not my first time.
Okay, great. Okay, hopefully it's not a bumpy ride. Okay, so but if I lose anyone, I'll come and get you. All right. All right. So yeah, Monica, great with Ruby, and Aisha with Chloe. Okay, so we can have a little chance there, and I will then come in and drop in and just see. But we're just having a look at that chart. I want to ask you the question, your thoughts about that. Does this seem to reflect, so this is 55% the body language, the voice, 38% content, so small, 7%. Let's just have a few minutes and your thoughts about the importance of body language and how we should do this. Here we go. Okay, let's go into our rooms and I'll come and join you. Okay. Excellent. Okay, sorry, Chloe, Aisha, I hope you both are okay. Is that okay? You had a good chat. Fantastic. Thank you. We're just going through some interesting elements of that chart. I'll just bring it back up again. That chart. It's some very good points that Monica and Ruby brought up actually. So yeah, your thoughts there. Yeah, we were just basically, before we move on, we're wondering how valuable is the content of this chart to the audience. So I guess we call it sort of subjective. We think maybe it's what sort of message is this arrangement supposed to, what sort of presentation is it supposed to come across as? Maybe the content wasn't that important, but maybe the image might have been more important. Aisha, your thoughts about that? If it's something like this, content 7%, you think what sort of presentation could that be, do you think, Jim? I just wonder,
maybe school teachers lecture.
I wonder, yeah, just kind of, I wonder if it's just, I mean, Monica, you brought up a good point, isn't it? It might just be political based to give a perception of things, but not really tell the full content. And that's a very good point. Maybe it's just to get the interest of the audience to think in a certain way, but not too much. That's a very good analogy. I think it was an excellent point, Monica, you brought up. Yes, Chloe, any thoughts why this, do you think it's true, or do you think that content should be a lot higher? What's your thoughts there?
I think I'm agreed with it. Because when body language is the first one you noticed, and if someone far from you, and the first sight you can see just his or her body language, and then when you get close with him or her, and you both of you talk to each other, and the voice is the second one you notice. And sometimes we just have the short greeting and small talk, so we cannot notice for content. So the content is the last one.
It's I think it's, yeah, it really there's actually quite a combination of factors, isn't there, about psychology, the environment, how the goal of whether it's how to connect, whether it's in a relationship arrangement with a business arrangement here, how it could be a sellable point, but you don't want to sell too much. It's an interesting analogy, that. Here's just another short presentation, 4 essential body language tips from the world's champion public speaker. Okay, guys, I'll run it at a normal speed. I think you're all quite okay, so let's just go with it. I think he gets some very interesting points. Let's move that through, and then we can explore some other practice on presentation material, which we have below as well. I'll show you what that is. Here we go.
It's okay. You flunked your exam. You already got arrested. One of the most important things that you need to realize is when you get nervous, you try to cover your vital organs. That's why you would see a lot of speakers sometimes fold their hands, bring their hands in front of them, and that's a sign of nervousness. Great speakers keep their body open, so there is no barrier between you and me. Raise your hand if you have an emotional one. Let me see. Put them all together. You get mama. And something that when you're starting out, you gotta be very conscious about is keep your body open. Here's tip number 2. Have your palms open. Do this exercise with me. Take a look at your palms. Turn them around. Take a look at the inside of your palms again. What side relaxes your eye? If you really concentrate, when you look at the inside of your palm, your eye relaxes. And a lot of great speakers, they open their palms towards the audience, showing a more openness. And that allows the audience to connect with the speaker better, as opposed to showing the back of your hand. Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm a dreamer, I'm a speaker, and I learned the unfailing quality of unconditional love from my wife. Number 3, get comfortable with the stage. When you're comfortable on the stage that you're speaking on, your body is free to move about, you may use body language. But if you're not comfortable with that stage, And if you feel foreign on that stage, what happens is your body language starts to constrict and you start to cover your body language. And when a son sees a mother cry tears of shame, that's a life-changing moment. She looked at me and said, son, I want you to be a better man. Whatever you do, don't touch the podium. As soon as you do that, you're going to be leaning on it, you're going to be shaking that podium, and you will be doing all sorts of things on the podium. So what you do is you keep a comfortable distance between you and the podium. You can keep your notes on it, but you can use your hands to gesture. Don't rest your hands on the podium. So keep a distance, and you can gesture, use body language as you want from a little distance from the podium.
Right. Podium, guys. There we go. So podium. So just in case you don't know what that is, podium. Ever seen somebody, let's just say, have I got this or not? Podium, I've got it here. So that's Euros, Denmark. Right. So podium presentation, podium. I think we've got it here. Yeah, here we go. Ever seen anybody do a presentation with a podium standing like this? Anyone seen anyone stand a little bit like holding their hands on the podium themselves? Aisha, have you ever seen anyone do a presentation like that? Or speaking? I think it's more like a speech, isn't it?
Oh yes, it is. I saw some students, they do that because they lack the confidence. They feel like, oh, it's so safe. Like I can hide there. People not see my lower body, probably like shaking.
Yes, stability, to hold for stability. Yeah. Yeah, I've just kind of wondered, Ruby, your thoughts. Have you ever seen anyone holding a podium like that in a speech?
Yeah, but seldom, because I'm working for several years, so most of speakers, they had their part of experience.
Yeah, I've seen some people stand alongside the podium. Sometimes I've seen that, you know, they'll have the podium alongside them, so it feels like someone's standing beside them. So that may be, Aisha, that gives them confidence or maybe more comfort as well. It may be as if there's someone next to them. Monica, have you ever seen anybody do a speech holding the podium like that?
Yes, especially at college, professors often do presentations or speech alongside the podium.
Alongside the podium, right? Interesting. Yes, Barack Obama. Sorry, speech. I'm just
because the facilities. I mean the computer. The computer will usually buried inside the podium.
Right. Yes, it's actually embedded inside. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm just trying to see. Do we see a Barack Obama? He's not touching the podium yet. Any pictures? We're going to find out. Oh, it's so close. Not quite. Oh. Where is he? Is he not touching the podium? Wow. Actually, I've just go back to here. It's interesting that he is very close to the podium there. Oh, because like you say, Monica, he has to go right close to the microphone. Yeah, interesting that. Next I'll have a look at, I must admit, I'm not sort of, look, you're there, right. Barack, okay.
And also
Off
maybe
your hand on that one. There we go, found him. Right.
And maybe they have the need to read the descriptions provided by their advisors. Yeah.
I think, in fairness, I think what we're looking at, what we're talking about here is both hands on the podium, not, maybe it's okay for one hand to be on the podium. What do you think? Yeah, do you think that's, Chloe, you think that pose looks good? Looks all right. Aha. Oh, he's
Looks
got
good.
two hands. Oh, I think so. His hand's not quite on it there. I think he's got it there, but not quite on there. I think it is. I think it's the emphasis of, again, it's subjective, isn't it? If you're leaning down on it like that, I think that's then, yeah, I think it's, but maybe, I think you need to have at least one hand free. I think that's the idea. So, right, okay, guys, that's fine. So I think we can give him, we'll let Sir Barack Obama just, yeah, that's fine. He knows what he's doing. Right, guys, okay, so we've just got a few minutes left. Wanted to very briefly give an idea of what also we do. I'll just reduce this down. So these are just interesting body language. We've got eye contact. Oh yes, eye contact. There's a few things we've got to cover here. How do you feel about eye contact when you do a presentation? So Ruby, you did a presentation before. Are you comfortable looking at the actual audience and looking at them face to face, or where do you put your eyes?
Whenever I did the presentation, there are always crowded people.
Yes.
So I need to find the central point in the stage.
Yeah, are you actually anybody here short-sighted? Anybody? Are you so Monica, are you short-sighted? Can I ask?
Yes.
So would it be helpful when you do a presentation to take your glasses off? Would that be a good idea?
No.
But then you won't be able to see the audience too much.
If I take off my if I speak without my glasses, while I need to have an eye contact with my audiences, I might squint my eyes. Then that will look very strange for the audiences. Yeah, and very impolite.
Okay, now that's fair enough. If that is a reaction, if it's sure enough, if you're obviously if you're squinting, then obviously that is a different situation. Obviously, yeah, that's right. Yeah, I mean, there are times I'm kind of lucky myself because I'm not really short-sighted, but I'm a little bit. I wear glasses for driving, but when it comes to general life, I'm okay. But maybe it's just slightly blurred from a distance, but it's not too uncomfortable. So I can't really see too much detail, which is probably just as well, but maybe you can't really see the, you know, the excruciating pain that anyone's going through whilst I'm giving a presentation. So, you know, so where would you normally look? Would you normally, I mean, sometimes I would look to the back if I really don't want to be distracted. How would you feel? So Chloe, if you had to give a presentation, where would you put your eyes?
I will put my eyes on someone's head.
Okay, put it on the head. Yeah, interesting. So maybe not look at them, but just above. Aisha, what's your thoughts there? Where would you put your eyes when you're doing a presentation, you think?
Actually, I was looking at the audience eyes, but I would not just stare on one person. I will like change to different person, but I'm pretty sure I will look at their eyes.
Joe, it's interesting when you looked at Barack Obama, you know, when he gave a presentation, you often see him, he would talk over there and then he would swing around and then talk to the other. So sometimes you'll talk over there and then he would talk over there.
Yeah.
I usually found that sometimes he would swing around. So I wonder if he's just not looking at anybody particularly, do you think? I don't know. Maybe there. But yeah, I just wonder how he does his presentation. It might be that that's how he does it, just to scan above, or like you say, Chloe, just above them, just above their heads. So that's one of the difficulties of eye contact. How would you feel if you're looking at somebody's eyes? So Monica, how would you feel if you're looking directly at somebody's eyes in the audience? Would you feel okay, comfortable for that? Would you feel it'd be?
I don't think it is polite to do so. When if I need to do a speech, I would put my eyes in a level in a parallel position, and I will try to sweep my eyes, my eyesight around the audiences, from the east to the west, and from the west to the east.
Interesting. Yeah.
Without look into their eyes, because it will make the audience feel very awkward. If I just focus on her or him. Yeah.
Yeah, that's. I think that's very true, isn't it? That I guess it's only when you come into Q&A, which we'll do later. How about that then, Monica? If it's Q&A, would you look at them directly in the eyes and then?
Sure, that would be a different kind of situation.
You're right. Yes. It's. I suppose so. Would all of you agree with that? If it's a Q&A? Yeah, I suppose it's genuine, isn't it? You're trying to be genuine to answer the question. So your concern, I guess so, if it's the manner in which you're answering the question there. Very good. Yes, I know we're running out of time here. I just wanted to just give you an idea of what some elements of presentation. We do some other parts of presentation, which is script practice. These are exercises that come from the Cambridge side of Enjoy ABC. So what some of them here, there are some exercises, but this is something it's optional for you to do if you wish. But we tend to just have a look at the dialogue and just get an idea about presenting, so some words as well. I wanted to maybe we could just focus on this first one here. So maybe we could just take, if we can we'll break this into 4 little paragraphs, okay? So, Monica, are you comfortable if you would help us read the first paragraph? Sure. And then Aisha, you'll do the next. Then Ruby, you do this one here. And Chloe, if you don't mind, just do this one here. Let's try this. Okay, Monica, please.
Hello, I'm Mike Barton. I'm a real estate analyst at Prino Bank. It's a pleasure to be here at today's economic conference. My presentation will focus on housing price changes in the nation's major cities.
Great, well done. Okay, right.
Yeah. First, let's look at the figures for the capital city. Pemberton, as you can see, average houses values have fluctuated a lot in the past 2 decades. But to put it simply, prices today are 30% higher than 20 years ago.
Right, yeah, fluctuated a lot. I've got just a visual here somewhere. This is just to give you an idea of where the average house prices in England, I think it is, or UK. It's gone up incredible. This last year just shot up like this, 10%, amazing. But do you know any idea why it came down here? Any reasons why the house pricing? Anyone can guess why it came down at this time?
Economic recession.
Yeah. Economic recession, wasn't it? Oh, it's terrible, wasn't it? Yeah, 2008, was it 2008 economic recession?
Yeah.
Oh, lump. Gosh, it's going crazy now. So £250,000. You want to own a house, average price is over here. Oh, right, okay then, Ruby. Okay, please, let's help us finish this.
Next, here's a similar graph for Parksville. If we exclude past 2 years, the change has been very consistent from 280,000 to 340,000.
Absolutely. Yes, 280,000 to 340,000. Whoa. Oh, house prices. Just wonder about that in Taiwan. Is house prices, are they going up every year? Any thoughts? Is that right? House price crazy, is it? Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. Monica, where are you from in Taiwan?
I from the southern part of Taiwan.
Right, southeast of Taiwan or southern?
The
Taiwan?
southern part of Taiwan.
Southern, right, southern
Which
Taiwan.
is
Right.
Kaohsiung.
Kaohsiung. Okay, welcome. And yeah, Chloe, you're in Beito, right?
Yes.
How's the house prices in Beito? Are they skyrocketing?
Yes. Expensive.
Yeah, skyrocketing. It's crazy. Skyrocketing, guys. That's skyrocketing. That's going bonkers or maybe mad. Anyway, that's skyrocketing. Yeah. I just wonder, Monica, is house prices in Kaohsiung, are they
Yes, sure.
increasing as well?
Yeah.
I'm like, I believe
But it is increasing abnormally. Yeah.
right. Abnormally. It's you
Even
know,
in the countryside. Usually,
oh, wow.
I think it's quite normal in Taipei, because Taipei is a mega city in Taiwan, but
Yes.
but even the countryside, I mean the suburban side suburban section, their housing is skyrocketing.
Wow. Right. Oh gosh.
No less than the urban side.
Oh gosh. Ah, so expensive. Yeah. Anyone think about having a mobile home? Maybe that's in the future. Who knows? That's another time for a discussion. Right, Chloe, if you could just, if you don't mind, we'll just finish this off. Okay.
Okay, as the next two charts show, the pattern is basically the same for Hamburg City and San Pedro. In both cities, prices have gone up steadily over the past 20 years, except for occasional years where they dropped slightly.
Yes, well done. Thank you, guys. I guess buying property is a good investment. I guess, yes. Aisha, do you think buying property, is that the way to go? Is that the way to make, it's a good investment? Would you say, is that the best way to make an investment?
I would say probably yes. If in Taipei, because the houses are very valuable. So if you have a fortune, you definitely can do that to invest. Yeah, you definitely can do that.
Yeah, it's valuable, isn't it? It's yeah, that's very true. It's something that we're all having to keep an eye out. But it's just incredible why the house pricing has gone up. We're all wondering why. This is in the UK, but just like you say, Monica, it could very well be the demand. A lot of reasons has been because the pandemic has held back a lot of people, and they now, because they want to work from home, they want to now sell their property and move to the countryside and work remotely in the country. And it seems to have activated the market to become an increased demand. I think that's what I understand. However, well, we can only dream on, I suppose, with that. Right, guys, well, I've got some words here. It's very interesting. Well done with the script. Feel free to take a look. We will possibly review it next week, but otherwise we will move on to PowerPoint presentations and understand how we can use them to optimize our presentation skills. So feel free to join that next week, or feel free to have a look at the material and see if there's anything that can help you there as well. I will post up the words after this class, so feel free to review those words. Maybe it's something that you can go back to and study as well if you like. Guys, thanks for your time. It's really great. Monica, it's really great to see you, and thank you for your contribution. That was really good. It's very helpful. Isha, as always, and Chloe, Ruby, again, thanks for joining, and hope to see you. I'll be back on Friday, so look forward to seeing any of you there. Otherwise, enjoy. I think the next class, I believe, is it culture? I think it might be, yes, with Greg. So it could be quite interesting. Guys, feel free to join that. Otherwise, have a nice week. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Nice.
Bye. Thank you.